Welcome back to the channel. I'm Ed Gerber. We're here at ISA Studios in downtown York in beautiful South Central Pennsylvania. Some cool facts about this town. It was founded in 1741 and served as the nation's capital in 1777. And for you history buffs out there, York is where the Articles of Confederation were drafted and adopted by Congress. Today, it's a quaint town with cool architecture, repurposed old buildings turned into cool offices, restaurants, and microbrews. This episode is about another change taking place in the channel. We've got the Line Drive guys swinging by the studio to check out where we did ISA 21. But while they're here, we're going to get into their recent announcement with Mauve Capital investing in Line Drive and getting into the IMR business. So welcome to episode 9 of the channel.
People go to the ballpark. Why not? Yeah. People be in York, PA.
Yeah, York, Pennsylvania.
Hey, Jim, how are you? Good to see you.
Ed.
Michael, Ed Gerber, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Welcome to York, PA, guys.
Yeah, this is ISA Studios.
ISA Studios. You want to check it out?
Let's take a look.
Let's do it. Let's head over this way. We can actually broadcast anywhere in the world, so let me show you where the broadcasting actually happens. So, Michael, go on in, Michael.
Yeah.
Check it out. So this is where we actually broadcasted live from our side at ISA, and it all happened right here. Green screen, obviously, so we can put anything behind us. And we have all the production here. So we do all our production here. Producer Sean works with us. We broadcast it to another software platform, which connects to another software platform. And then we can bring people from all over the world to join us on a broadcast, just like your favorite news channel, whatever that might be, right? Fox or CNN, pick your flavor of choice. Go here, pretend you're broadcasting live to the world, right? Say who you are.
This is Jim Johnson, Line Drive.
Hey, how about you right here? Come on, Michael, pretend you're right here.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Michael Abdella, CEO of Line Drive.
There you go, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, you two guys, so you see a little bit of how the magic was made behind the scenes. I've got another setup upstairs. Studio 2 is upstairs. Love to take you up there. It's kind of a kitchen setup. Got cameras all around. We have lavalier mics ready. I want to find out what's going on with you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, to have you joining the company and private equity getting into the independent manufacturers rep space. Big news. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen that before. So if you're comfortable, I'd love to sit down and learn a little bit about it and see where your vision is and where you're taking this.
Let's go upstairs.
Is that cool? Let's head
Studio
up.
2.
Let's do it. Let's go to Studio 2. All right, guys, so welcome to the second floor studio, ISA Studios.
Studio 2.
Yeah. So look at this welcome we have for you guys.
Wow. Sweet.
Oh, that's really cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, before we get started, you guys in the mood for a cup of coffee?
Sure. A cup of coffee.
I have special coffee imported from Canada.
Shocking.
Yeah, well, I want to show it to you too, just so you
How do you pronounce that?
pronounce it. Tim Hortons Coffee.
Ah.
There you go, Tim Hortons Coffee. The ultimate coffee for any of my Canadian friends who might be watching. Want a cup?
Yes, please.
All right, let's do it. Before we jump in to learn more about this, I don't want to assume the viewers know who Line Drive is or who you are, Jim. So why don't you just take a look in the camera and just say, who you are to the viewers and who Line Drive is and why you exist.
Sure. I'm Jim Johnson. I'm the president of Line Drive. Our company's been around for 21 years now. This past May, I'm one of the founders of the business, and we actually cover the entire country. It took us 9 times to expand to get a national footprint. And what we do, the services we provide, is working with either the facility as far as efficiency or the facility as far as safety. So safety and efficiency is what our mission is of our company. We represent metalworking manufacturers, electrical manufacturers, and safety manufacturers, both PPE and facility safety.
That's really cool. So, I got to start out by saying this. When I read the announcement, I thought to myself, what was going on in Jim's mind behind the scenes in looking at an investor to come in to Line Drive? Can you share with us a little bit about the thought process behind it? I mean, before we jump to Michael, obviously, but
Sure.
Where were you coming from a a leader, a principal in Line Drive in making that decision?
Yeah, so for 21 years, we've self-funded the growth.
Yeah.
We've never touched external capital. We've never touched money from a bank. We've self-funded our entire expansion over the years. And through, call it the last 10 years, we've often been challenged with, well, what if you use external capital? Money is cheap. Money is cheap. Go out and get it, utilize it, accelerate your growth. On the flip side, well, now you're responsible to the financials, so now you got this additional accountability.
You got a new boss.
Yes.
You got a new boss
Yes.
is what that
so
means.
we were like this, we're kicking the tires and coming off of the COVID year.
Yep.
And how do we differentiate Line Drive? What a statement we could make.
So go a little bit deeper on that. You said coming off a COVID year. So what was it about this COVID year that was the catalyst to say, okay, now's the time? What was it about it?
Yeah, so you had the challenges. You go back to textbooks in college as far as when do you reinvest? Do you reinvest at the peak? Do you invest in a market when it's down? Which obviously we had a down year, a challenging year. April, May, down 20%.
Wow, yeah.
So coming off of that, we said, let's brainstorm. Let's think through how do we accelerate this? Now's the time to invest when you're at that level.
Time to infuse the capital to get the next step of growth. Coming out of a recession, if you would, and take the advantage of the opportunities when the business picks back up.
Exactly.
Pretty cool.
Exactly.
Michael,
Yeah.
let's start off with you a little bit. I met you for the first time here today, so I'm learning a little bit about you. Can you introduce yourself to the viewers? And who is MOV Capital? I use the word PE because it's kind of a term that we kind of
Toss around.
around all the time. People use, and I'm curious to see how you would describe yourself. So let the viewers know a little bit about you if you could.
My name's Michael Abdella. I'm the founder of MOV Capital, and I'm the CEO of Line Drive. I appreciate the introduction, and yeah, you're right. And PE gets tossed around. It's such a common term. And I wouldn't really compare MOV Capital to a PE firm. It does have somewhat of a negative connotation because so many people have been subject to this uncertainty that PE brings to business. Maybe a lack of, care or context around investing inside of a business. We're totally different from that. I personally saw, when I was at my past role, I worked in commercial insurance, and I saw a lot of my customers subject to some of that negativity of PE coming in and maybe sucking the cash out of the business, or employees are subject to redundancy. I just think that's not how you handle business. It's not how you handle people's lives who are working day in and day out growing that company.
Right.
The livelihoods are tied to it. So I formed MOV Capital with a group of like-minded people who thought, hey, listen, there's something we can do in this lower middle market, which is what we call Line Drive and what we call businesses in this size. There's a lot of businesses out there who need some sort of continuity, and employees need some better succession, how they can grow their livelihood and their professionalism. So I started MOV Capital to invest in a single company. I have a group of 13 investors who have done this hundreds of times across the U.S. and international as well. And we came across Line Drive as the right fit. Culturally, JJ did a really good job of building the culture. We call him JJ, by the way.
Would you describe it as a partnership or an acquisition? How would you describe it?
Yeah, I would. I would describe it as a partnership. The reason I describe it is that MOV Capital consisted of about what's called a baker's dozen investors, and 13 investors. And then when we came in to make the acquisition of MOV Capital, the 4 founders were able to take a piece of MOV Capital and now make their investment into Line Drive. So you can call it an acquisition, but really it's more of a partnership because we wanted the continuity of the founders to be remaining in the business. It's important to keep that experience, but also remain stable with the employee base, with their manufacturing customers, and use that wisdom that they've built over 20 plus years of growing the company.
What was it about investing in independent manufacturers rep organization? It's not the traditional, if you would, company that maybe most other investor companies would typically look at. I mean, what was it from your point of view that thought, there's a great opportunity to invest and grow this type of an organization?
Yeah, I'll break it down into 2 areas. One is fit, and one is, I guess you could say, the business model.
Okay.
From a fit standpoint, that was really important to me because not only will I be investing in one single company where it'd be my future and my career, I had to really enjoy what they did, right? So I happened to have a sales career. My entire background is in sales. I grew up in Flint, Michigan. I grew up next to industry, right? all the automotive companies, you couldn't throw a rock and not hit one of the big distribution companies or auto assembly companies. So
Sure.
loved industry, loved sales, and that's really what fit to Line Drive with MOV Capital. But the other is the business model, and that's where I think there's a little bit of a difference here, and I don't want to tip my cards too much and have a lot more of infusion of
For sure.
capital in the industry, right?
For sure, absolutely. Yeah.
But from the business model, what we are doing at Line Drive, we are essentially acting as a partner to all of our customers, all of our manufacturing customers. We're their trusted marketing and outsourced sales organization. We're the eyes and ears on the ground, helping direct them strategically where the product and where the market fit is. And to that business model, I think there's an extreme overlap in where this business can go.
So I got to ask you guys. I mean, this is a big game changer type of approach. The two business partners getting together. So, I mean, thinking about this, Jim. I mean, you've been in the business for a long time. So have I. What do you think this type of partnership signals to our channel?
Yeah, you look at it, Ed, and we think through the meetings we've been in with my peers and the stereotype that manufacturer reps have. And we've talked about that fairly openly. And this makes a statement in the industry of the value that the supply chain puts on manufacturer reps, that an investor would actually sink money into us.
When this announcement came out, what was the reaction from your stakeholders, your suppliers, your principals? Did you have a chance to talk with them, and did they give any feedback? I'm curious to see what they think about. Because, the whole thing about the rep agency typical model is that it's really about the face, and you're a much larger rep agency, I know that, but typically it's about that individual that really makes that value-added connection in the marketplace, right? So now you bring somebody else in, and now it's all about how do you communicate that in a way that your principals really see the value add and they want to buy into that. So I'm just curious.
Yeah.
What was some of the feedback?
Sure. Yeah, I had the opportunity for us. I was the one to make the calls to the principals at our manufacturers, and I called every single one and had that conversation. It was so intriguing, so exciting. And I did it all on video, and the reaction and the body language that I saw, and the wow factor of, wow, a manufacturer rep did this.
Yeah.
And what does that look like? Tell me more. I want to schedule a one-on-one with you to explore this more. How could we take advantage of whatever it is that you're doing here? I want to learn more.
That's great.
And I'll also interrupt. I think that there's a lot of companies out there that do act as there's someone as the face of the organization, and Line Drive did a very good job of growing out of that. Mm-hmm. And really, it's 60 people strong. Each person that you speak to, whether it's a manufacturer or a distributor partner of ours, they all have different points of contact and multiple resources available. So, really, we've grown beyond just the kind of the single, head person running an organization.
You've been building that for a long time. As long as I've known you, you've been working on building that organizational structure, if you would, probably to get ready for a step like this down the road, right?
Our theme is a deep bench.
There you go. A deep bench. What about the cultural changes? Right? I'm just thinking now, the employees hearing this announcement, all the 60 people that you have, what was their reaction to it?
It's exciting, right? Because you look at a company and you want to know that there's a long-term game plan, right? There's an opportunity for us to continue to grow beyond what it exists today. And so it was, we're not going to say it was a breath of fresh air, but it was very exciting for the employees to say, hey, I can continue to grow my professionalism. I can continue to grow my life with where I exist today, and there's going to be more opportunities for me to be with this company in the long term.
Right.
And that's really what they're all wanting. We're a talent organization. That's who we are. We're as strong as the people.
Right.
And so maintaining that and focusing on providing a good place for the people to work is our top priority.
I know you don't want to tip your hand too much because you don't want to do that, but if you look down the road, a few years down the road, looking back, is there one thing in particular that you would say, boy, it'd be awesome if we could accomplish this? Is there something that's there that you may want to share? If you don't want to share, I understand as well.
Exactly. We're going to be a data organization.
Wow.
That's who we're going to be. In the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to be a data company.
Wow.
Right now, we have insights on 61,000 plus end users. And information is here and there, and it's kind of hodgepodge. But eventually, we want to be able to get to the point to identify trends, to help fill the gaps, to help round out our portfolio. And that's who we're going to be.
Wow. The data, I was not expecting that as an answer,
Okay.
but that's pretty impressive as I think about that, because data is like That's where information's power.
Yes.
When you think about data, when you're saying data, you mean like data in the sense of you sharing your data with your principals to do something with it? I mean, what's your vision behind that?
Absolutely. The whole idea behind having data is having insight, right? Knowing where the consumer behaviors are going, where are their purchase history, what are some of the things that they're coupling and bundling together. Is things in a certain industry picking up while in a certain industry slowing down? What's the adoption for new products? That type of agility that data can bring to both our manufacturing partners and our distribution partners via our end users, that's going to make us continue to be more valuable.
That's really cool. I mean, from a manufacturer's point of view, if I'm hearing this,
yeah.
If they're looking to align with partners that can help them win better faster. So JJ, I mean, how many years is this going to take? Is JJ going to be around when this all happens, or what do you think?
He's our data scientist, right?
Data scientist.
Uh-oh.
I've seen him on Excel. You don't want him as a data scientist. Yeah. No, I'm only kidding, JJ.
No, it's already in motion. Again, we have information. It's now just making it actionable.
Right.
Putting together databases. We have a team of 3, and we want to double that.
Wow.
Yeah, so we hope to get that in the next 6 to 9 months, get it in a place where we can start to pilot and start to action on it, continuously adapt, tweak, and change.
Yeah.
But we want to get that moving as soon as possible.
That's pretty exciting. What about the distributors? Have you heard anything back from the distributors at all on the announcement?
Yeah, very positive as well.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
And I look at that question, Ed, multiple prong approach from Line Drive on how to attack that end user. We have our team working at the headquarters at distribution and how to pull the right levers to reach the user. We have our field team calling on the user with distribution and direct. We have a marketing team that'll also utilize that data on where we're going to rifle in and get the right message out that's relevant. And then we'll have our inside sales team calling the users as well, being proactive. So multiple prongs going after that ultimate user.
All working through the channel in a way that you need to in order to grow the business.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
That's exactly what our distribution partners are looking for as well, right? Someone to help take off that workload instead of having them do soup to nuts.
Right.
Having that extra insight.
It's funny you say that. I mean, we've been, closely monitoring the channel, at least for the last 5 years anyway. And, distributors are morphing their business too, right? And they need to. It's absolutely the right thing to do. They're taking a look at more of a service-centric model. Still, products are important. At the end of the day, that's what help pays the bills. You got to have products going out the door. But how they position that with the end user, wrapping it around a service solutions model, puts them in a position where they need more technical support. As they start to broaden their product categories, because that's what the end user is looking for, aggregating the spend, right?
Right.
So, I could see why they're saying what you're saying. We need more of that technical support to help us do what we need to be doing, on the plant floor. So it sounds like an opportunity for you guys and being able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the why of what we're doing, right? We're helping protect lives of the people who are building, America.
Right.
Right. Protecting the facility and making it efficient and productive. The why behind that, and that story that we can tell, the total cost of ownership, controlling the workplace incidents, reducing workplace injuries, right? The why behind it. It really does make a lot of sense.
Well, guys, I got to say, I really appreciate the conversation and all that, and I just want to do a little toast here. We have a little bit of coffee left in my cup, and I want to toast to you guys.
Yes.
I want to say congratulations to the partnership, and here's a toast to your success and a toast to our industry. So, congratulations.
To the industry.
Being a part
there
of
you
it.
go. Cheers.
Cheers.
So there you go, guys. Private investment is now in the IMR business. Signals a couple of things, right? One, IMRs are an important part of the channel, and 2, the channel's continuing to evolve. So if you guys have a story worth sharing here, don't hesitate to reach out. And I want to say thanks for you guys for hanging out in the studio, but I got to get back to work. So I'll see you next time on the channel.